Well, hello everyone and welcome to RCRC. That is the Relationship Connection with Ronald and Charley, where we equip, empower, and educate couples on how to thrive in their relationships. How? Through candid conversations right here on this platform. I am Charley Willis, a mental health therapist.
I'm Ronald Willis, a marriage and family therapist, and today we'll be discussing being emotional, Charley. Help, my spouse is emotional, y'all. Hey, let's first watch this clip, though. Charley, you okay?
Yeah, I'm fine.
Look like you're crying over here.
I got let off a project at work.
What? What happened?
I don't know. It was something about my performance wasn't up to par.
What? What are you gonna do?
Nothing. I'll be all right. I'll be all right.
Anything I can do for you?
No, I'm fine.
I'm trying to make sure you're okay, because, you get emotional sometimes.
Wait. What do you mean I get emotional sometimes? What does that mean?
Charley, you're a woman. Women get emotional. You cry in a heartbeat. Come on now.
I do not cry in a heartbeat, Ronald.
You're a woman, Charley. Women cry. They get emotional. You cry. You get emotional.
What's your excuse when you get emotional?
I don't get emotional. What are you talking about, Charley?
Ronald, you do get emotional.
Charley, I'm a man. Men don't get emotional. We strong.
Really?
That's
Strong?
right. That's right. I don't get emotional.
Strong at crying?
What are you talking about, crying?
Okay, so you don't cry. You don't get all in your emotions.
I have cried, Charley, but I don't get emotional. There's a difference. I'm a man.
A sensitive man.
I'm not sensitive. What are you talking about?
Ronald, you are sensitive.
What are you talking about, Charley? I'm not sensitive.
Okay.
I don't appreciate you calling me sensitive talking about men. I don't appreciate that, Charley. I'm not sensitive at all.
Okay, so you don't cry, you're not sensitive, you don't get emotional, none of that.
You trying to say I'm sensitive, Charley?
I said it more than once. You're sensitive.
You gonna take that back.
I'm not taking it back.
I'm not sensitive, Charley.
Okay. You don't have to face the truth.
Charley, I'm a man and I don't get sensitive.
Exactly. Look who's crying now.
Man, Charley, how you gonna call somebody sensitive?
How you gonna call somebody emotional?
All right, so I do something bad and you do something bad. When we gonna do something good then?
I don't know. I just know I didn't like saying that I cry at the drop of a bucket and I'm emotional. I mean, like, really, it's like.
So you're trying to say that's not true?
No, it's not true.
All right then, that I'm not sensitive either. Make sure we put that in perspective, right?
I'm not sure, because when you left, you were crying. So
I was not crying, Charley.
Let's re-roll the clip.
My voice got a little high, but I was not crying. Yeah, I can't even get it out, man. Don't re-roll that clip. I was not crying. You see the tears come out my eyes?
You walked away.
No, you did not. That's right and stuff. You just can't call a brother sensitive, though. And it's supposed to come off good.
Well, when emotions are involved, it may happen.
It may happen. Okay, then. All right, then. But anyway, the thing that should have happened did not happen.
What was that?
And that is, I should have been caring about your feelings, about how you feeling about the job.
Yeah, I'm glad you said that, because that was totally missed.
Yeah, well, it started off, pretty good, right? I came in, what's going on, Charley? But, I changed the atmosphere by putting out the word emotional. And as we know, right, we have a problem being called emotional. We just look at it that as so negative. I'm not emotional. Yes, you are. I'm not emotional.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so naturally you went on the defense.
Right.
And when you went on the defense, what did you do, Charlie? Manipulate the conversation, y'all. Change it around to make it about me. It's not about me.
We often want to do that.
It's not about me.
So, anyway.
You emotional. I'm trying to think. How does that help?
It doesn't help the situation, of course.
It doesn't help the situation. No, it did not. Your husband went off feeling a certain kind of way.
Your wife started feeling a certain type of way.
We're all feeling a certain way, and it all came from that word emotion.
Mm-hmm.
So
talk about it.
Let's talk about it, y'all. Let's talk about it, man. What's going on, man? You know, I think we're going to talk about it. We need to define it, right? And there's a lot of definition out there. You know, I was doing my research. I said, my God. One research said that there is no scientific explanation about it. I was like, wow, man. So, you know, I'm going to throw my hat in. I came up with a definition. So let me read what I got, y'all. Emotions are how you react to something that agitates or disturbs you. So a simple definition.
Mm-hmm.
In other words, you know, you're moved by something and that movement created an emotion.
Right.
And, you know, it's triggered by, you know, your smell. It's triggered by something you see. But mostly it's triggered by your thoughts. It's dominated by your thoughts.
Oh, yeah.
Okay. So, you know, when we look at it, the word emotion, right? You know, it is, you know, something that's going to move you. You know, you see something that move you.
Mm-hmm.
You smell something that might move you.
Right.
And of course, we already know what the thoughts going to do for you. They're going to do a lot of movement.
Yeah.
That's right. So, you know, other place that we want to understand is that, you know, it starts in our youth when we're a child. Okay.
Okay.
And the expert used the age of 7. Okay. And it starts by, you know, your belief and, you know, how you feel about yourself. And naturally, as a child, when you start having these emotions about your belief and how you feel about yourself, you know, you're not mature enough to manage the emotion.
Right.
Okay. So, you know, as you develop and grow and mature and become an adult, you're supposed to get in a place where you can manage your emotions, because emotions are not bad. You know, we often talk about positive emotion and negative emotion. We make negative emotions to be bad.
Right.
But God gave us these emotions.
Yes.
And they all has a purpose, to include the emotions we normally associated with being negative.
They all have a purpose.
They all have a purpose. And it's for our good. Okay. We just got to get mature enough from a child to adult to be able to manage these emotions the right way.
Right.
So, you know, let's see what our scriptures talks about.
All right. So we're going with 1 Corinthians 13:11. I'll be reading the NIV version. And it says, when I was a child, I talked like a child. I thought like a child. I reasoned like a child. When I became a man, I put the ways of a childhood behind me. Yeah,
so the totality of the scripture, when we talk about emotion and we apply the scripture to emotions, and what we're trying to get out of this is that, you know, the emotions start off when you're a child. And of course, you're gonna talk like a child, you're gonna think like a child, you're gonna reason like a child. But there comes a time when you become an adult, when you become a man, when you become a woman, you put away the childhood behavior. In other words, when you're not using the emotions in the right way, it's being immature.
Yes.
You know, like someone that got anger issues. Mm-hmm. That's an immature place to be. Okay. And what the scripture is trying to tell us, we got to put away those childish things and become mature and act like an adult. We want to manage our emotions.
Right.
And anytime we not manage our emotions, we're acting like a child. Mm-hmm. That's the bottom line.
That's where emotional intelligence comes in.
That's right.
Emotional intelligence. Our emotions so that we can be successful in our relationship.
Right. We can have stabilization in our relationship. Yes. We can have function in our relationship. You know, we can do the things that create an atmosphere so we can have a successful, blissful, enjoyable relationship. Not a perfect one.
Yeah. And I think a lot of it is that awareness again, like I generally like to say, because you can't really do anything about it if you're not aware of it. You're not necessarily accepting it in that way, but taking responsibility of it.
Right.
And making a plan to do something about it.
Yeah, because, and I talked earlier about, we normally define emotion as positive and negative, right? So naturally, if I heard the word negative emotion, I want to stay away from that.
Yeah.
I don't want to have negative emotion. I want to have positive emotion. So for me, I just said we got emotions. And the emotion that God gave us, all of it, whether you define it positive or negative, is intended to equip us to be able to handle whatever situation or circumstance we are in.
Right.
Whether it's a good situation, a bad situation, whatever it is, we got our emotions to help us out with that. We just got to know how to use those emotions, especially the ones we identify as being negative emotions. And that's what we want to talk about today.
Okay. Right.
Those emotions that people identify as being negative, and we want to show you how you can use those emotions for your good.
Yeah. When you say negative versus positive, you haven't what? I guess me acting out negatively when the emotion is coming in. Maybe I'm upset, angry, and I'm throwing dishes or whatever.
Dishes and stuff. You're not handling emotions correctly.
Yeah. So, but when I have an emotion come upon me, like I did in the clip,
right.
A positive way of dealing with it would be, I guess, exploring that and then maybe coming to you for assistance.
Well, a lot of times what when we navigate in conversation and we are trying to avoid positivity and anger, we just simply want to validate each other's feelings because we're trying to be understanding of their position. You don't necessarily look at every word that's being said and you run with that. There's a rationale behind the words, even though the words may be incorrect.
Right.
So you want to validate feelings and understand what is being conveyed to you versus reacting totally to the words you are hearing, because we don't always articulate everything, the right way. We don't do it correctly, even though we coming from, well, this was my intent. But then when the words came out, they didn't follow my intent.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's important that we validate feelings in those situations to avoid anger and stuff. But at the same time, God equipped us with emotions, whether they're positive or negative. And we just got to learn how to use those emotions, especially the emotion that we identify as being negative. Okay, so let's look at those negative emotions.
Okay.
Let's look at some. We don't have time to look at all of them. Right?
First one is anger.
Anger, okay. Yes. All right.
It activates us to defend ourselves.
Okay.
Okay. However, but staying in that anger will cause bitterness.
Right. It creates bitterness, hatefulness and stuff. And of course, anger is one of those emotions that we identify as being negative.
Yes.
However, it does equip us to be able to defend ourselves.
Right.
If something goes on in your relationship or something going on, hey, this emotion will equip you to defend yourself. However, we can't stay in it.
No, can't stay in it.
No, don't stay in your anger.
Right.
Don't do it.
Right. So scripture, Ephesians 4:26 tells us, in your anger, do not sin. Do not let the sun go down while you are still angry.
See, that's so important to understand, because normally when we associate negative emotions, we associate them with such a way to say, I'm not going to do that because it's negative. And the scripture even telling us to be angry.
Right.
Just don't stay there, because if you stay there, you're going to be sinning. And then the other part, it says, do not let the sun go down. And what it's saying is that you need to get out your anger as soon as possible. And then how do you get out your anger?
Right. We want to show kindness, concern, or walk away if need be.
Or walk away. You're in a heated argument and your anger has got to a high level of positivity. You need to walk away.
Right.
Definitely. Because that's not going to be a good conversation if you way up there.
Right.
Walk away from it.
And the important part about arresting that spirit, stopping it as soon as possible, not when the sun go down, is it helps us develop a stronghold or give the enemy opportunity to come in and set that in your spirit.
Seek, kill, and destroy.
Right.
The enemy definitely want to separate relationships.
Yes.
He want to get in between those relationships and have y'all going the opposite direction. No, we need to come together, connect as one. All right. So what's the next one?
So the next one is being afraid.
All right now.
So
being afraid, huh?
Being afraid.
Man, as a man, I just don't like the way that sounds. I'm not afraid, y'all. I'm a man.
Right. But the good thing about it, it activates us to escape danger.
That's right.
Yes.
It is so powerful to use. You know, we often associate being afraid as negative, especially as men. I'm not scared.
Yeah.
No, you can be scared. Almost didn't want to say that. You can be scared because something may be occurring that you may need to run, or you may need to hide.
Right.
And hopefully it's not occurring in your relationship. However, you want to understand that if you stay being afraid,
it causes us inaction.
And you will get the spirit.
Yes, right.
Of fear.
So you be afraid to talk or communicate.
That's right. You'd be like I was in a previous show, scared to talk.
That's right.
So you definitely want to be on a platform of being scared to talk. But what our scripture say about this?
Okay. So 2 Timothy 1:7, and it's the New King James Version, actually what I'm reading. It says, "For God has not given us a spirit of fear, but of power and love and a sound mind."
That's right, man. You cannot let being afraid go to the spirit of fear. And then God is telling you, I didn't give you that spirit of fear.
Right.
I gave you the emotion to be afraid, but I didn't give you the spirit of fear. Because I don't want you to be inactive and scared to talk to your partner. I want you to be active and have the courage to say things that need to be said in the relationship.
Right.
Because the spirit of fear will kill courage. If you got a spirit of fear, you do not have courage.
That's right.
Okay? And the opposite of being afraid is what?
It's love. Love will cast out the fear.
That's right. Love will cast out the fear. But also, you will build the courage.
That's right.
To get rid of being afraid.
Yes.
You use that emotion to run or hide, but you don't want to stay there.
And knowing that God did not give you that spirit of fear.
That's right. He gave you the love to do what?
Have power, love to cast out the fear.
That's right.
That's right.
I'm finna cast out this fear because God do not want you to have the spirit of fear on the inside of you.
Yes, another stronghold that can actually run rampant, take over our lives. So we definitely want to arrest that spirit as well.
All right. Then what's the next one, Charlie?
So the next one is number 3 will be sadness.
Sadness. All right.
So it gets us in the mode of inactivity, actually. It activates us to avoid contact.
Right. So how does that help us though? To be inactive? It sounds negative, doesn't it?
It does. It does. And sad, we have to understand that sadness it's an emotion. It's normal. It happens to us all.
Right. That's right. It's beneficial to us, especially during times, when you lost a loved one.
Right.
Yeah, it'll benefit and help you so that it won't be so devastating. It'll allow you to be sad.
We have to know that it's a normal reaction.
It's a normal reaction.
If you weren't
sad, to grieve, those are normal reactions.
Kind of question some things if you weren't. So we have to understand that happened.
Yeah. What's not normal is staying there.
Right.
Because staying there will do what?
It may cause depression.
That's right.
A state of depression.
You may go from sadness to being depressed.
Right.
Okay. Right. Having a depressive disorder. We don't want no disorder in our lives.
Right.
Definitely not and stuff.
So definitely recognize when the sadness lingers too long.
Yeah.
You're sitting in your pajamas 2 weeks later and
still drinking the coffee, still crying.
And just in getting a feeling of hopelessness.
Right, because it will destroy your peace and create worrisome.
Definitely another spirit.
That's right.
We want to take hold of.
So what our scripture talks about?
So our scripture is Jeremiah 29:11. Staying depressed will destroy your peace, creating worrisome. And as well, don't worry about any. No, I'm sorry. That is Philippians 4:6. Jeremiah 29:11 continues, for I know the thoughts that I think toward you, says the Lord, thoughts of peace and not of evil, to give you a future and a hope.
This scripture will destroy depressed. Because God said, hey, I'm going to give you a future and a hope. And anytime you have a future and a hope, you cannot be depressed. Those two do not go together.
Right.
So this is a powerful scripture that you want to hold on to, put it on the inside of you, put it in your thoughts and stuff, use it so that if a situation occurs, you can get sad, but you don't get depressed because you know God has given you a future and has given you hope. And he knows the plans he has for you. They're for your good.
Right.
That's right, man. It's a very powerful scripture and it destroys depression. Woo.
Let's go to another one that
Okay.
I almost said it recently that is one of my favorite scriptures.
All right.
4:6, when it tells us don't worry about anything, instead pray about everything. Tell God what you need and thank him for all that he has done.
That is powerful because it's destroying the worries and stuff that we talked about that will be developed because of depression. And God is saying, hey, I got you. Don't worry about anything. If you have thoughts about worry, what you do? You pray to him.
Yes.
Thank him for what he has done. And he's going to do much more in your life also. So, when you going through your emotional sadness, don't get depressed. No. These are two powerful scriptures you can use to ensure that you use sadness for what it's intended for and you don't go to depression.
That's right.
So what's the next one then?
But even that, when we look at the opposites.
That's right. I forgot about that part.
That's right. To get out of that sadness and situation and talk to a loved one or talk to a counselor or talk to someone.
Yeah, you want to get active.
And get active,
right.
Yes, in so many ways.
Right, because that does create inaction. So we want to get active.
Right.
Okay.
So the last emotion that we'll be discussing is guilt.
All right.
So it gets us ready to repair violations. It activates us to seek forgiveness, so to speak. So, however, staying in that guilt will stop us from saying that we are sorry. It'll stop us from apologizing. Right,
because the guilt emotion equips us to say, I'm sorry. I mean, it sounds bad when you said the emotion of guilt, because we keep saying that these emotions does sound negative.
They do sound
They
negative.
identify as being negative.
They do sound negative.
That's right. The sadness, being afraid, anger. Now we got guilt. None of those sound good. But they're equipping you in times of situations of circumstances to allow you to be able to function, okay?
Right.
And get out of these situations and don't stay in these situations and stuff. So, for example, if I hurt Charlie, if I hurt her feelings, and I know I hurt her feelings, I'm going to start feeling guilty about hurting her feelings. Right. So when I start feeling guilty, I should have a thought process. You know what? I need to say I'm sorry to Charlie. That's what the guilt emotion does for you. It'll create the platform to allow you to say, hey, baby, I'm sorry. I'm sorry for hurting your feelings.
Thanks.
Thanks. But if you remove the guilt emotion, you might not say I'm sorry. Okay? You might. If you don't feel guilty about something you did, it's highly unlikely you would say, I'm sorry. And it's a powerful, powerful emotion to use for your good. Right.
Definitely an awareness. You have to be aware of the guilt. Aware that you're sitting in the guilt, either for yourself or your partner, so that you can resolve whatever issue.
That's right. Because, there are some times when I don't know I hurt your feelings, right?
Right.
So if I don't know I hurt your feelings, I'm not going to feel guilty. If I'm not going to feel guilty, guess what I'm not going to do? I'm not going to say I'm sorry.
Right, but you know.
You said I don't know.
Yeah.
Oh, you going to let me know?
Yes, I'll let you know.
What you going to do, Charlie?
If you hurt my feelings, I'll let you know if you hurt my feelings.
Okay, then. I don't know if you do that all the time.
No, not all the time. Yeah. I'll let you know.
I didn't know I hurt your feelings, Charlie. And then what you going to say?
You did.
You did and stuff, right? Yeah, because what do you want?
If
I hurt your feelings, what do you want?
I want an apology.
Yeah.
I want to feel good. I want to feel better about whatever it is now that you've hurt my feelings.
But think about it. What else you want? You want the emotional guilt. You want the
emotional guilt, or you?
Yeah, because the emotional guilt is going to create I'm sorry. That's right.
Okay,
if I don't get the emotional guilt, you will not get I'm sorry.
All right.
You be like, I may say, Charlie, you need to man up.
Right. Okay.
No, not man up. Woman up. You need to woman up.
I never heard that term before.
Well, we just made it up. Okay. Hey, y'all can use that too, because it's not bad.
All right. So the scripture for guilt is Ephesians 4:32, and it's be kind and compassionate to one another, forgiving each other, just as Christ God forgave you. And also we want to know that we want to apologize and mean what we say when we do. From the heart. From the heart.
From the heart. Can't be from the lips, y'all.
Sincerity, definitely. Or it'll never leave you. And the guilt may stay there, and especially for you or your partner.
Right, because when the guilt stays there, who's it harming?
It's the relationship. It's harming you guys. You both.
Harming me. I'm affected. Okay, and then if it's harming me, then it could affect the relationship in a negative way and stuff. Mm-hmm. Have I ever apologized? Did lip service to you?
I don't know what that is.
Lip service. What you just said. I apologize, but not from the heart. Lip service, y'all.
Yeah.
Wait a minute now. You supposed to say no. You have never did lip service for me.
Maybe once.
Maybe you felt like it.
Yeah, maybe I felt like it.
Yeah. Might not have been true. I might have been doing it from the heart. You just thought I was doing lip service. No lip service over here, y'all.
Yeah, it's generally sincere, though. Sincere. You want to give a sincere apology to your partner because you love your partner. So that's what you want to do. Generally, we can tell if someone's being sincere or not. So
that's right. You can. All right, then. So those are some of the negative emotions, not all of them.
Right.
Okay.
And they kind of intertwine with each other. Right. The anger, being afraid, sitting in sadness, and holding on to the guilt. I could see someone could be going through all those at one time.
That's right. That is so true and stuff. But we want to make sure that we're using them to benefit us.
Right. Definitely.
And not allow them to stay there, and now it's not benefiting us at all.
Mm-hmm. Okay? So great conversation, great discussion. So we want to thank you guys for watching RCRC, that is Relationship Connection with Ronald and Charley. And if you would like to know more about us, check us out at our website at firstfocusfaith.com or our social media platforms, Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube.
And don't forget to help support this ministry by making a contribution. And you can do that via Cash App at First Focus Faith. Or if you're watching by demand, you can click the donate button below. And also don't forget, if you're watching by YouTube, like, comment, share, subscribe. We need all that good help, y'all.
All right. Thanks again. We'll see you next week. Bye. We are here to equip, empower, and educate by helping couples thrive in their relationship. To see more from us, help support this ministry with a charitable contribution